one of the bizarre aspects of this case is that, I've heard so many times people say that Julian is a traitor, that he's guilty of treason, as though he's a citizen of the United States, when in reality he has almost no connection to the United States. I think he's been in the United States maybe once or twice at most for a few days. He's a citizen of Australia. Usually when a citizen of a country is caught in a situation like this, with the US and the UK imprisoning him in such controversial ways, the government is outspoken in defense of its own citizen. The Australian government has notably been quite unsupportive. Lately, though, there seem to be some changes. Are these changes cosmetic? Are they part of this sort of attempt to give the U.S. an out to say, okay, well, Australia is willing to take him back and wants him back? Or is there a real change in government sentiment towards Julian?
Well, Prime Minister Albanese was supportive of Julian before he took office and his party came to power earlier this year. And incidentally, only a few days ago, he was asked a question in Canberra, in Australia, in Parliament about his position, what he was going to do for Julian, and he said that he would use diplomatic means to end this. That enough is enough, he said, and so we have to see how that sort of works out in the diplomatic relations. But there has been a lot of reluctance in Australia, and especially this period where the Conservatives were controlling the country. But there's an indication that there's a changed atmosphere and possibly an increased pressure on the U.S. from Australia. But the interest there, the geopolitical interest, of course, are huge. We have the situation in the South China Sea, defense interest. Australia is part of the Five Eyes spy program of Five Nations, etc., etc.